You got an eye booger. So welcome back, everybody. So we are going to do a little Q&A kind of video today, and hopefully I can get through these quickly. But we all know I'm long-winded, so we'll see how it goes. So a few weeks back, Sarah Boyer, something. I'll tag you in the video. She asked a couple of questions about feeding routines and exercise and stuff because her cattle dog is around 74 pounds. So I've covered some of this stuff before in other videos, which I don't mind going over it again because there's a lot of new people here. So, and thank you for that. So feeding, I feed my dogs 2 cups per day for their meals. So they get 1 cup in the morning, 1 cup in the evening. Except for Clea. Clea gets a little bit less than that. She probably gets maybe like 3/4 cup or something per meal because she is not as active as the other two. But during the day they all get little small snacks, whether it's like cookies or, you know, a little healthy snack like a little cottage cheese here and there, or like, you know, piece of meat. You know, we give them things throughout the day as well. So they have a distinct time to have breakfast and dinner, and they get small little things in between that time during the day. And I know a lot of people say I'm feeding my dogs too much, that 2 cups is way too much for them. It's really not, because especially for Gypsy and Sully, they burn it off a lot. They are definitely the very active members of the crew. So they definitely need the extra food intake. When it comes to our exercise routine, so basically after breakfast and I have my coffee and we kind of settle down after breakfast, we go outside and do like anywhere from a 10 to 20 minute play session. That's usually involving the chuck it. The chuck it is obviously the main activity my dogs like to do, but that's usually what we do after breakfast. And it kind of throughout the day, it's kind of like we do an activity and then we take a rest so I can get other stuff done. And we do that throughout the day until the evening when we go for our walk. And our walk is anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. And we usually cover anywhere between 2 to 3.5 miles during that walk. And when the seasons change, I will, that walk will happen, you know, right after breakfast, after their tummies have settled a little bit. But the routine here throughout the day is basically play or do training, or, you know, because we do trick training with them, or we play with a flirt pole, or, you know, we chase kitties, or we do yard work. Like, we always have an activity for them to do. We try to give them anywhere between a 10 to 20 minute, like, you know, exercise thing outside. And it's not always 20 minutes because sometimes they're not up for that. But, and we always have a play session right before bed. It seems like they always get a boost of energy right before we're about to go to sleep. So we do another like 10 minutes with the chuck it in the yard just to get them a little bit tired. But our activities vary day to day. I mean, sometimes there's interactive toys that we do. Sometimes it's just playing with toys in the house, but we always do breaks in between because I want my dogs to know that it's not always go time. Like, we need to calm it down so mommy can, you know, pay bills or work or, you know, edit videos or whatever I need to do. So they're really good at knowing that after we do something that it's time to settle down. So my advice on to get your cattle dog skinnier, because I know you said it was 74 pounds, check your calorie content, because I know, and I had this issue with my original crew, Lucian got up to 96 pounds. It was ridiculous how big he got really quickly. And I mentioned this before, we were feeding a grain-free diet at the time, and I didn't realize that the calorie content in that food was like 100-something plus calories extra. So definitely check your food. You know, the food that we were feeding him at the time was like 400-something calories per cup. You know, it'll say K cup or kilo cup on the back of your dog food. And then when we switched to a different food brand, it was like 300-something calories per meal. So that helped a lot, and he actually lost his weight. We also had to cut back on treats with him for a while. And not only do you need to check your calorie count on it, I would also check to see if anybody else in the household is giving your dog treats. Because if the whole household is giving the puppy treats, and you're not aware of how much the dog's eating, that could be a cause of the weight gain too. So my first bit of advice would definitely check your food, check the calorie content. You can always go less and see if that starts helping. Also less on the treats, and also do better, not better, well, they're obviously better if it's healthier treats, but, you know, start maybe instead of doing like, you know, the regular dog cookies, you could do like a green bean as a treat, or a carrot. I know some dogs ain't gonna like that as their, you know, cookie, but, you know, you can start trying to do healthier options as treats that are lower calorie to see if that helps as well. And I know some places online say, you know, dogs these size need like 700 to 900 calories per day, which I think is way too less since they're a highly active dog. And when we were having the issues with the weight problem with my Lou, my veterinarian said, you know, doing the 1,000 to 1,200 calories per day for the dogs is fine as long as they're active. But Lucian wasn't very active. And plus we didn't know, like I said, the calorie content was so much higher, so that kind of messed everything up for a while. But I would definitely check with your vet on how many calories is okay for your dog, because I'm not sure exactly how your dog, you know, size-wise, bone structure, all that stuff. But if it's not the food, then it's definitely lack of activity. Like I said, we go 2 to 3 miles per day. That's minimum. That doesn't include days that we decide to go take them for a hiking trip. So they're getting that plus all the play time and the run time that we have in the yard too. So sometimes you have to find the balance between the food and exercise, kind of like with us. You know, if we are not eating healthy, the exercise doesn't do that as well as it should. You know, it's the same kind of concept. But another thing to consider too is it could be a medical problem. If you have tried switching food into a lower calorie food and also trying to increase exercise slowly, and if it's still not helping the weight loss go away, then I would definitely look into medical stuff, because our Silver had hypothyroidism, and that's what caused her to gain weight along with the grain-free diet. So it's like she had a double whammy happen with her. And I know your vet mentioned no Frisbee, and I do agree. If a dog is overweight, having them do crazy playtime sessions is kind of difficult, because you can cause damage to their legs and their joints and stuff, because all that weight is on them. But I would slowly increase walks, and I would also cut back on treats. Like, and if you're not seeing results in a month, then I would, like, if you're really trying to make sure the dog has, you know, less calorie intake and is slowly increasing exercise, if you're not seeing a change within a month, I would say that maybe look into medical stuff. Another question I got was from a mate in Australia. I don't remember your username at all, because when I clicked approve on the comment, YouTube said no. So I know the question before it disappeared into the abyss was, are my dogs rescues? That was one of the questions. And no, my current 3 are not rescues. My original crew was, you know, Silver was rescued from a house, Lucian was a foster fail, and the other ones I had were just my fosters. And I've talked about it in another video before about how I tried to rescue cattle dogs and I got denied. So that's why we went to breeders instead. And the second question from the same person was also asking about, am I seeing kind of an uprise in the shelters around here with cattle dogs? And that is a definite yes. And sadly, when a breed gets popular, yeah, you see an overwhelming amount start ending up in shelters. I love the show Bluey. I absolutely adore Bluey. But that show did what I feared it was going to do. And at least I think this is why the cattle dogs are getting more popular, is because of the show. But I see a lot more cattle dogs in shelters and rescues. Quite a few abandoned. There's been a few that have been dumped on streets nearby here. Yeah, so it's very heartbreaking, and it pisses me off, because especially for all of us who know what wonderful dogs they are, people can't handle the puppy stage and they just give up. They can't handle a working dog, basically. And I also think a lot of bad breeders are contributing to the problem, at least here, because I see a lot of dogs mixed with things that aren't cattle dog, and people claim they're cattle dogs and they're not, and you've got this dog that has different traits, and people, you know, that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, I think between the show Bluey and backyard breeders who don't know how to breed dogs properly and breed temperament properly, I think that's a huge reason why so many are going into shelters. But sadly, this isn't the first time this has happened with any dog breed. I mean, I still remember when Chihuahuas got real popular to, you know, put in your purse, and everybody was getting a Chihuahua, and then the shelters were flooded with Chihuahuas. You know, it happened with the Chows, it happened with the Huskies. You know, lots of breeds have gone through this. I just, I don't know, it just breaks my heart. Any breed going through, you know, a popularity thing, and then, you know, the shelters are just flooded. And if I was a millionaire, I would definitely open up a rescue for cattle dogs, and I would name it Silver Sanctuary. See, I already got the name planned out and everything, and my husband would be in tears because he would know that we'd have probably 100 dogs on our property if we were ever so lucky. That would be pretty amazing, but a lot of work, but amazing. But anyway, so those are my answers to the questions. I don't feel like it was as short as I wanted it to be, but hopefully that answered everything. And Sarah, I hope it gives you some insight on how to help your healer lose, you know, their chunky monkeyness. This breed is definitely prone to gaining weight quickly. Like, I've seen a lot of cattle dogs that if you just barely give them a little bit extra food and you think you're giving them enough exercise and not, that they just kind of blow up. So I mean, it's easy to do, but yeah, I would definitely give it maybe try like a 6-month period, you know, and do weight checks at your veterinarian maybe every month to see if you're seeing progress. And real quick, I just wanted to give thanks to a few people. I wanted to thank Wendy for all the goodies you sent. At least I hope it was from you. It didn't say your name on it, but you did mention that you were sending us stuff. So I'm assuming all these wonderful cattle dog goodies are from you. So thank you very much. They're gonna look great, not just in the shop, but in my house. And I also wanted to thank, is it Raina or Rena? Raina. Anyway, to my friends in Germany, thank you for the super thanks. Yes, we're thanking Ethan. Ethan from Alaska, thank you for donating to our Ko-fi page. We did have a Fergus clip for you, but unfortunately the audio is messed up and it's very late at night. I'm not up for redoing it. So, Sally, say thank you to Ethan. Yeah, thank you to Ethan. And also a huge thank you to Chris and Kalina for sending our adorable, spooky little Halloween box full of all the goodies. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for listening and watching. And if you like this video, click all the buttons, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye. It's yours. You want it? There you go, Clea. Good girl. Gypsy, you want this one? What does this one do? Oh, what is that? What is that? Well, that's a fun noise. Clea, are you gonna be hoarding all the toys? Don't worry, Mr. Man. Ghosty for you? Do you want the ghost? Oh, he's not gonna be sharing and caring. Okay, it's all for the girls then. Don't worry, you'll steal them later and hoard them in the office like you always do. Won't ya? Look at Miss Clea. She's like, they're all mine. Here, I'll get it for you. Oh. Clea. There you go, sweetie. You can be the hoarder today. Gypsy, do you like your new toy? Get it, woo-woo. Get that toy. Get it, get it, get it. Clea, I think you're purposely hitting him with the toys. To be like, see, they're all mine.